Alright, today we got my boy Kel Ball, you feel me? Mr. 6 for 6 himself, you know what I mean? Today we're going to talk about his journey from his childhood all the way on up to what he's doing currently in the music and also in merchandising. So, tell us about where you from and, you know what I mean, your childhood, your upbringing, bro.
So I'm from Waterloo, east side Waterloo. We used to stay, over there in them apartments. They heritage apartments.
Yeah, the brown apartments.
Brown apartments. Used to hoop you on that door, put the little rock in the thing.
Yeah, alright.
But yeah, we grew up there. Childhood was cool. Didn't never wanted for nothing. You know what I mean? Growing up, mama made sure everybody was cool, taken care of. It was fun. I remember my childhood being fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, up to a certain age, like closer to teens.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was cool. I don't got no horror stories of my childhood. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So tell us about, you know what I'm saying, how important, you know what I mean, that journey of like coming from the childhood of, you know what I'm saying. I mean, I don't really know, but you can, you know what I mean, piggyback on, you know what I mean, how like having a dad around versus, you know what I'm saying, just having your granny and your mom, stuff like that.
Young, I never even knew it was a thing for real, like that it was not normal. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a lot of dads around, period. Like any of my homies or whatever. So I grew up, with my grandmother and my mom. So it wasn't until I got older to where you start looking for these influences and certain, and my influences was the niggas in the streets. You know what I mean? The niggas with the cars and the women and the girls and all that. So that's kind of the first, when you look outside and see what's cool or what's not. You know what I mean? And so like an actual father figure, that wasn't there. Like I had summers and shit where I would go with my dad and come back, but overall it wasn't much of a thing. But I didn't realize it was you know what I'm saying, that something was wrong with that. Like, I never realized something was wrong with it.
You know what I mean, was it any time where you was like just, you know what I'm saying, like damn, you know what I'm saying, I don't know how to go about this in life, or you know what I'm saying, you ever see like, I mean, I understand, you know what I mean, like I grew up without my dad, you know what I mean, I didn't really have no real influences either. But like when it came to like manly stuff, you know what I mean, trying to figure out, you know what I mean, how you gonna go through life, you know what I'm saying, let's say somebody wanted to fight you or older person try to get out on that with you, you ever had those setbacks like, damn, I wish I had somebody I could talk to like my dad or something that had my back or something?
I can't say that, bro. I never like yearned for that presence or relationship, because like I said, I didn't know, there was no examples of it anywhere. So my reality was normal to me. You know what I mean? It wasn't there was no incidents where it was like, man, I wish I had a dad to tell me X, Y, Z. Like when I got older as a man, I grow hair on my face. It's like shaving. You think about shit like that.
Right.
But just growing up, it was because I didn't know. My relationship with my dad, I thought that was just how relationships with dads work. You know what I mean? I didn't realize he should be home. You know what I'm saying? Or this household should be man and woman. You know what I mean? Like it was just my mother and my grandmother, and I thought that was normal. So I never missed. We say you can't miss what you ain't had, type of thing.
Yeah, that's a fact. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like growing up, we was close. You know what I'm saying? We spent a lot of time. You know what I mean? Like you said, at the Brown Apartments, playing on the door, or we'd be in the crib playing Kobe courtside. Just little stuff like that, just to keep our minds level-headed and off the streets. You know what I'm saying? So, how influential was it to have like friends around in your life? You know what I'm saying? That helped you get through those.
Man, that's what my childhood was. Wake up, go outside and play ball on the door. Or play the video games. That's what childhood was. It wasn't until realistically speaking, man, it wasn't until 13 years old that I realized like there's a whole other world out here. You know what I mean? Like I just thought everything was, I don't know how to explain it, bro. Like it wasn't no I never yearned for anything that I didn't have.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't until like I thought the world, I had my image of how the world is, and it wasn't until like tragic shit occurred that was like, whoa, this shit can happen too. You know what I mean? And then that's when reality hit me. Like life isn't just a dream. You know what I mean? Like horrible shit can go down, and you know what I mean? Like
Right.
yeah. So growing up, my childhood, bro, it was cool. Like,
I mean, how much of a foundation that your granny set in your life? Because I know she's important. I've been at the table eating with y'all, so I know and understand what the process was or what it was like. But I mean, let us know. I know she's gone, so rest in peace.
Yeah, for sure.
Grams, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, grandma was everything. Still is, man. Like she gave me my moral compass. You know what I mean? Like when I decided to start doing things that didn't align with how I was raised, I always had that in the back of my mind. It's like a good and bad.
Yeah, you always had that good conscious spirit.
I always had that because I always knew right from wrong. Like she used to talk to me about things that I didn't understand until I got older. Like I remember being as young as 5, 6, watching TV, and she'll go, "Kill your friends ain't your friends." And I'm thinking about y'all. We outside playing on the door. I'm like, what does it mean? They are my friends. We playing basketball. You know what I mean? Like, she would say things like that, and she'll say, "Get locked up and see how many of them write you."
Right.
You know what I mean? And all kind of little just jewels she would drop, but I had no idea what she was talking about until I got older. And then it was like, this is our thing she was hitting on. You know what I mean? So I owe everything to her. You know what I mean? That voicing is it's planted. It's strong. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Ain't it crazy how, like, you know what I mean, the moral support of a woman, how it brings out a, you know what I mean, of a man or a boy, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's always a woman that, you know what I mean, have your best interest at heart, or, you know what I mean, for the most part they do. You feel me?
And you know what's crazy, bro? I remember watching, I don't know if maybe I was in school, maybe taking a college course or something, but I didn't know the world viewed women like as a less than the way that they do.
Right.
Because women is like on the highest pedestal to me, you know what I mean? So it's like when you like, or women get discriminated against in the workplace, or women, it was like news to me, like how? Like how do you look at a woman and say she's not worthy of this, you know what I mean? When I know what women are, you know what I mean?
I think a lot of us is oblivious to it because, you know what I'm saying, we just look at the world for our own ways until we experience it, and then we say, you know what, damn, I didn't realize my mom didn't have the same benefits as my dad, or X, Y, and Z, you know what I mean? So those type of things definitely shape and help bring out the best of us in this world. You know what I'm saying? So you speak on and talk about a lot, which is losing somebody real close to you, also, which is, you know what I mean, Tay Rob. So kind of talk about that situation and how that, you know what I mean, affected you, and how you was able to, you know what I mean, get out of it.
Man, it was that was my first like experience of death outside of, you know, old age, or, you know, a great aunt or something, like a heart attack. You know, when you're old, you know, you get older, and that was the first tragic murder that I, you know, or death, not murder, tragic death that I experienced, and it shook my whole world, bro. Like I didn't understand it. I didn't like my cousin. He was like loved. You know what I mean?
Real funny, real charismatic.
Everybody loved him. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So I didn't understand why that would happen. So I used to live in Memphis for a couple of years. We moved to Memphis, and I remember like watching the news, and you would see horrible shit happening all the time on the news, like home invasion, or, you know, and critical condition, and so that was still outside of home. It's almost like watching a movie or something. Like that doesn't happen to us though. You know what I mean? It's just it's out there. So when we get the call that Tay had been shot, I remember I'm playing my PlayStation, NCAA, and my sister, she comes to the door like with shock, disbelief. You know, she goes, "Tay just got shot." You know, possibly. What you say? She said, "Tay just got shot," and I said, "Shut up." And I just started playing the game again, because remember, my world it's like this. I don't know that this type of shit happens in real life. You know what I mean? Like that's the news, that's TV. So I didn't even put no thought into it. I just kept playing the game. And then the phone kept ringing. So let me answer this phone. It's my mom. And she confirmed it. I'm like, is she okay? Is he okay? And she said, we don't know yet. He's in critical condition. And when she said critical, my mind instantly went to the news in Memphis. Mm-hmm. And every time they said critical, it was like death pretty much. So when she said critical, it fucked me up. Like how? So I'm like, let's get to the hospital. I'm like 12. I was 12. No, I was 13. And I'm like, let's get to the hospital, man. Let's hurry up. Let's go. And we get there. It took like 3 days before they decided to take him off. He was on life support and shit for like 3 days before they took him off. But when he died, it fucked up my understanding of life. You know what I mean? To where it was like, the good die young. This was the first tattoo I got. Tay-Rob, the good die young. And I remember a song 50 did where he said the good die. He said, I guess the good die young. No, he said they say the good die young. I guess it's grimy niggas live a long time. Mm-hmm. And that line resonated to me. Like, my cousin never been in no fights. He never was in the streets. Wasn't involved in no bullshit. Like, how could this happen to him? Right. Then I don't have no incentive to be good. Right. Like, why would I need to be good if this could happen to me? That makes sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, I was the worst I could be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I started doing horrible shit. Like, the very thing that killed my cousin, I ran straight to it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which hindsight is kind of the irony. Is like, how do you go to what killed him? But me being young and not understanding how that could happen to him, the good die young was my thought process. Mm-hmm. Like, well, I'm not gonna be good. Look what it got him. You know what I mean? So that was really how I thought. So I got involved in anything. You know what I mean? Started hustling. The hustling came all the other bullshit, and I was head first with all that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I guess in that instance, maybe where you was talking about the father figure going on earlier, mm-hmm. maybe that was the perfect time where I could have got that explanation. Like, sometimes horrible shit happen, but I didn't have that. So when that happened,
But that's like the like I said, it's like the irony of like a black boy in America. Yeah. Is, if my dad come from hustling in the streets, yeah. It's only right that I go to what I know and what I visualize. Right. So if this is what I seen, I done had the 8 balls, I done had the quarters in my drawers, and I'm like, damn. I don't want to do it, but I feel like I have to. It's like sports in the urban community. You feel like you gotta play sports because that's only our only shot. It's our only chance. We ain't gonna be no doctors. We ain't gonna be no lawyers. So I might as well go to the street because this is what's gonna accept me right now. And because we don't have fathers in our life that's really gonna hold us down and guide us the right way, because they fucking up too, but they only fucking up because of what I just said. They don't have no outlets. They don't have no chance. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like what you're saying is, if this is my only chance on actually being great, or feeling as if I be good in life, I'm gonna get fucked. Right. Why would I lean that way? I might as well go to other side. You know what I'm saying? I get exactly what you're trying to say. So
that was the logic I had, bro, and it sent me on a wild tour. But in the midst of me doing all this shit that I got involved in, I always had that voice of my grandmother. You know what I mean? To where she never knew what I was involved in. Right. Like, and I spoke on this on one of my records, where it was like, I got locked up one time, and someone told my grandmother about it, and I lied, like, nah, I was away at school, because I didn't want her to know what I had gotten into, because I wasn't raised that way. Right. You know what I mean? So I didn't want her to look at me no differently, like that image, like we was really close, and I didn't want her perception of me to change. Like, you're doing what? You know what I mean? And you're involved in what? So I never let her know what I was in. So like when I got to her crib, I was just Rachel's baby boy. You know what I mean? But when I was gone, it was something else. You know what I mean?
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. So like, let us know, like, you know what I'm saying, what made you kind of want to transition into music? Because I know you like music. We always talk about Tupac and stuff like that as kids. But I never once imagined you to want to do music.
Yeah. I always, bro, I used to have the the shit where you press the 2 buttons and record.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to put a tape in this shit and press record and just rap over a song. I remember me and Tay did a freestyle. You remember back in the day where they used to have the singles for songs come out on the CD and it'll be the song with the instrumental with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the My Way instrumental, Usher.
Mm-hmm.
And we fucking pressed record on there, me and Tay rapping this shit on there. So it was just fun and cool to me, I guess. And then as I got older, it became a way to express myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, I discuss things and talk about things in my music that I'm not going to sit up and have an open conversation with anybody about. Like I've never been a social, let me talk about my problems to you, or I just take everything on the chin and go.
Right.
So music has been my way to get that shit out.
Right, which is a good coping skill to me.
Yeah, so that's what it's been. Yeah. So if you like listen to it, the shit I'm talking about in my music is my life. Like I'm not making up shit. I'm not rapping about 24-inch rims if I didn't have 24. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't rap because it was like I was literally just me expressing myself. You know what I mean? So I just love it, man. It's another 50 line. Writing rhymes is the best way I express how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
If I ain't rich by 26, I'd be dead or in jail. That was another line that was heavy to me, like expressing myself. That's what music is for me.
Right.
Expressing myself.
Everything is just therapeutic. It just helps you go. It helps you get through. You know what I mean? Me and my girl, we always talk about how like mental, you know what I mean, these mental illnesses is and how it can affect you if you don't let that shit out. You know what I mean? That's why I'm glad that you found another outlet. Mine's is running.
Oh, yeah.
I run a lot. Well, I play ball. You know what I mean? These are my outlets. If I don't have them, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to be damaged. You know what I'm saying? I've been going through a lot mentally myself. So these are the ways I learn how to cope with what I know ain't going to change. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm happy and I'm proud for you. So talk about some of your first projects that started off and how did you lean towards getting better? Because I know you weren't always, you know what I'm saying?
So, bro, no lie, you know, my favorite rapper is Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
So, starting out, I wasn't even trying to be good. I was just literally saying whatever I felt, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably trash, like boo-boo, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But as time go on and I educated myself on like the art forms, like, you don't just get on there and just like come up with a cadence and come up with a metaphor, a bar, all that type of shit. But starting out, it was literally just, cause Pac wasn't no Lil Wayne or no Andre 3000, or he was just passionate. You know what I mean? He just spoke from his heart and put it on there. So that was really my approach in the beginning. It was like just get the shit out there. But as I, you know what I'm saying, got more experience, I kind of got more into craft, you know what I mean, the craft of it and trying to make it sound good opposed to just saying something meaningful. I also wanted to sound good too. So yeah.
So who is like, you know what I mean, since we from Iowa, who are some of the people that you like connected with and worked with throughout your journey to, you know what I mean, help you get through this process?
People here?
Yeah.
Man, huge, I be thinking about this shit all the time too, like.
Do you think it's beneficial that networking is, you know what I mean, important in regard to this stuff too?
Are you talking to far as networking, far as the music goes?
Yeah, the music, yeah.
Here in town, there's nothing, bro. There's no networking to do here. You know what I mean? Like, it's just there's no outlets.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the most we could do in the city here is go to the studio, record some music, and hope the people around town listen to it. You know what I mean? But until you really put together like a strategic plan of how outside of this city can hear it, it's just gonna be an endless cycle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just handing out music here, that's not really. I mean, so you really gotta go somewhere. It's no outlets here. No.
So, I mean, I know what you're saying, but put it in layman's terms on what you mean. You know what I mean? Ain't no outlets out here.
Like there's.
And if it was outlets, what do those outlets look like? Because I don't think they get it. I think some people just feel put it on social media and it's gonna boom. I know it don't work.
Nah.
Like that,
so social media has become like a great tool, but when I say like outlets, there's no DJs here that's breaking records.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no A&Rs that's coming through the city looking for talent. There's no buildings we can go to and stand outside and say, listen to my, like, there's none of that here. You go to Atlanta, you go to New York, you go to LA, you know, they have music companies, you know what I mean? You might be in Hollywood somewhere and see an A&R executive somewhere having lunch or something. You know what I mean? There's nothing here. There's no chance encounter that's gonna happen in Waterloo.
Right.
So that's where social media can come in, and if you can grow a huge enough following, it can ignite and go some other places. But as far as Waterloo itself, there's it's not much, nothing. It's really not much here, bro.
So going off like your latest projects, which was 6 for 6, and also going back to Live and Die in IA, which is kind of like a piggyback off to Live and Die in California. What made you pick that title? I mean, and Rachel's Baby Boy too. So.
Yeah. So Rachel's Baby Boy was the name change because I was going by Kel Ball, which is just what I was called when I was running the streets and shit. But I had stepped away from music, period. You know what I mean? For a little period of time, and when I came back, I wanted to be something different. I didn't want to be like, just wanted to come back something exciting. You know what I mean? And Rachel's Baby Boy was just a way for me to honor my grandmother, you know what I mean? So that's how I went with their name. And then to Live and Die in IA, it just kind of happened, bro, where I decided I was going to make a mixtape. And I just started recording. I updated all my equipment, updated the latest Pro Tools and everything. And I just started recording, and after I had, I think I ended up putting 14 songs on there. After I had the songs, I just started listening back to them and figuring out the sequence. Like, okay, this one sounds good after this one. This should go here. And after just listening to it from top to bottom, it felt like To Live and Die in IA. Like, that's just what I got. The last song on there was Crabs in the Barrel. And it's just speaking on, like, the cycle here.
Right.
Whereas, like, people don't really want to see you do too well. Because then they might feel like you're leaving them. You know what I mean? So they'll pull you down. And it's really not conducive to everyone doing better, because when somebody can get somewhere, it's going to shine a light.
Right.
Where it's going to open up doors for everybody. But a lot of people, like I moved to Texas. So Crabs in the Barrel was just me saying I made it. And I made it in the music entertainment industry sense, but I survived Waterloo. All the shit that I was into, I was able to come out of it, because I know a lot of people that got long sentences. I know people that's never coming home. You know what I mean? I know people that got killed. You know what I mean? And it was like, by the grace of God, I survived that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So To Live and Die in IA was, if you listen to it, the title, speaks for itself, To Live and Die here. But when you get to that last song, it's like a pat on the back to myself, like I did it, like I didn't die here. You know what I mean? So that's what that was with To Live and Die project.
So let's talk about the latest one that you dropped not too long ago, which was 6 for 6.
Yeah, so that was just me changing my approach to where it started off as I was writing a mixtape again, and it would have been my 6th one. So that's where 6 for 6 came from. It was like, like basketball, you take 6 shots, you make all 6, you 6 for 6. So I was just saying on that record, title track 6 for 6, I said, here's another little tape, it makes 6 for 6. It started off as just a bar, you know what I mean? Saying like, this is my 6th tape, they all connected, you know what I mean? That's how that title came, but then it kind of grew from a title of a song, a bar in a song, to the title of the song, to like, this is what I'm going to name the whole tape. But I actually changed directions and just started doing singles rather than putting the whole tape out. And 6 for 6 was the first single, and it grew into a brand. And I gave it meaning, where it's like, 6 for 6, that's 100%, right? So, be 100, be solid. So like being 100 to me, you move with integrity, you know what I'm saying? You stand for something, you're not doing fluke shit, you're not backstabbing your friends, you're not, you're 100. That's what 6 for 6 means. Be solid, bro, be 100. You know what I mean? And it grew. It started off as just promo merch for the promo merch for that song.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it did so well that I'm like, you know, let's make this a thing. You know what I mean? And I made it a thing. It's a store, man, and a lot of people supporting it and appreciate it, man. The city showed a lot of love, so it's
That's
exciting.
what's up. So I get that, you know what I'm saying, you wanted to make merch, but that's not, I try to get a lot of people to make merch because a lot of people don't understand how much money is in merch.
Yeah.
I know it take a lot of time and effort,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like if you know what I mean, if you're doing music or you're doing anything, I feel like you should have some merch. You know what I'm saying? I get it was a strategic plan about, you know what I mean, trying to do an album or it came off a song and you
Mm-hmm.
said, you know what, I'm gonna do this.
Right.
But previously you wasn't really doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, how did it make sense for you to want to start doing
To get
merch
into
now?
it?
Yeah.
Just as an artist, you have to think of ways to make money.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, artists, you get paid from streams, you get paid for doing shows, and you get paid for merch. Like that's it's really just a component of being an artist. I feel every artist should come up with some type of merch. That's how you support what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? You have to invest money to make it.
Do you think that's one of the hardest things to understand about people that's trying to chase their dreams on what they're trying to do?
What? To invest in?
To invest in themselves.
Your question is, do you think that's hard to understand?
For people.
For people to understand?
Because a lot of people are afraid of failure. A lot of people are scared to take that shot on themselves. You know, you got a lot of people, they rather invest in $1,000 chain before they say, you know, I'm gonna get $200 worth of shirts
Right.
or rubber bands or whatever.
I don't know if that it's hard for people to understand. I just think it's just a lack of education on it. You know what I mean? If investing to somebody who hasn't taken the time to see what it means may sound like something complex.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When you hear stocks or bonds, you're like, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember me learning about it in college. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Hawkeye, I was taking courses at Hawkeye, and Mark Ryan talking about stocks, and I said, hey man, explain that to me, because I've heard it before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so how do you know what goes up, what goes down? And it's like, you just have to watch the market. There's no way to know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so it sounds difficult, but I've never been the type to, like, if I want to know something, I'm going to figure it out. I'm not going to let something that sounds difficult be my roadblock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, if it's difficult, let's figure out how to make it easy. So I just think if people are open to learning, then they will understand. Instead of paying $45, $50 to go to a studio and record per hour, if I go in here, if I record 20 hours, that adds up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Take 20 hours times $50, it's that 10, it's $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
You spend $1,000 on 20 hours recording. You could have took that same band, bought this equipment, now you can record yourself unlimited. You know what I mean? Without a limit, unlimited
Right.
recording.
Just do that part and then have somebody mix
It
and
just
master
happened to mix and
later.
master. So that was my approach. Like, and everything, like, I don't want to know how much you're going to charge me to make these shirts. I want to know where these shirts come from.
Mm-hmm.
I make my own shirts. I go get my own equipment and make it. I'm trying to cut out the middleman
Right.
and, you know what I mean, do the shit. You know what I mean? Because that cuts into your bottom line when you start sourcing everything.
Right. So that's the part that it never made sense for people who say they come from the streets or come from hustling.
Mm-hmm.
You know the process of, you know what I mean, who to plug. If you don't know the plug, you're trying to figure out how can I come up with a better price. So if I can cut out you and you trying to be the middleman and taking off your points on your play,
Right.
I want to get that shit out of the way.
Right.
And because I want to get that shit out of the way, I don't want to have to keep going to a person that's going to outsource me to fucking death. No.
Right.
Because I want my return to be greater.
Exactly.
So I never understood why that component was so hard for most people, because I feel like you have a gift. Why wouldn't you invest in yourself? You got people following you. You know what I mean? We're not selling tapes and CDs on the street no more, so how can you make your money as an artist? You get what I'm saying? So if you're not getting no shows and nobody paying for that, I know, you know what I mean, streaming wise it don't really work as much as people would like, so
Right.
you got to figure out another source of trying to get some income in there. You know what I mean? To me, hell, if I'm spending $30 to $45 each hour, how am I gonna get that $30 to $45 an hour back?
Yeah.
And if all you're doing is just going in the studio just to make a song, to me it don't make no sense because I'm not figuring out a way to make the money back.
That's what's so important about this whole business. It's like I don't think people are thinking about. They're kind of just like throwing something out there and hoping it stick. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do 10 videos. I'm gonna do 20 songs. Hope the right person hears it and then it goes. You know what I'm saying? And that's not really it. You know what I mean? You really gotta have a plan on how to make some money. You go broke, man. It costs a lot of money to do.
Going on what you say you like with the 6 for 6. You said you didn't. I mean, in the beginning you just got in just to get in it, but then you had like a strategic plan. Like you got the merch, you got the website, you got the X, Y, and Z shit. I ain't even got no website, so I commend you on trying to do something different that ain't nobody else doing it. How you marketing it and promoting it is brilliant too, because the way you doing it, nobody's doing it. Even I don't do it, and I still think I'll tell people all the time. I said, man, that's dope. He he did his photo shoots or he did his little videography videos, and you making sure you put the damn website on each photo, which most people are not doing that, which is making them gravitate towards going to the website if they like that photo. You feel what I'm saying? So that's making the income come in more. But I feel like it's just brilliant that you didn't just say, oh, I like what Marcus do. I'm gonna do exactly what he did, and that's how I'm gonna get my shirt. So fuck no, I'm gonna do it this way. Ain't nobody doing it this way. Not saying you didn't get inspired by somebody, but the way you did it was nice, in my opinion.
I appreciate that, bro. I mean a lot to me. But it wasn't really when it's. I try to not let what other people do dictate how I do something, cause I like to be original, and what I mean by that is like, you ever heard comparison is like the thief of joy or something like that? So if I'm paying attention to what you're doing, I'm not giving myself my shit the full attention it needs, cause I'm worried about what you're doing and how you're doing it. It's like I like to block all that out and just okay, what makes sense? What could and to me, I pay attention to the people that came before me. You know what I'm saying? How they did what they did, and I take okay, I see how that worked for him. Let me figure out how I can the concept. What I mean, so like marketing opposed to exactly what he did. If like that was a great marketing idea, what can be a great marketing idea for me? You know what I mean? So that's really what I try to do rather than like copying modes or anything. It's just like what's a good idea that I can do. And social media, bro, it's I wish I'd have known 5 years ago what I know about it today. It's a great tool, bro. It's the possibilities are endless with the social media. You can become an influencer. You get 1 million followers, 100,000 followers. Now you can charge people just to post something on your wall. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm getting paid every day just to get a picture sent to my email and post it.
Right.
And that's feeding and take care of my family to do that. That's powerful, bro. That's, you know what I mean? The technology has become powerful. So you just have to figure out ways to maximize the tools that we have, because we didn't have that shit always. You know what I mean? So we just got to figure out how to maximize what we got.
So what's up with the visuals? You know what I mean? Like with the songs that you got on the 6 for 6 project. Like what's the strategic plan for dropping these visuals?
So I got 2 shot. I got 2 we're shooting tonight, tomorrow. And my goal is to get like 6, 7, maybe 6 on a play on the words, and that's another marketing thing. Let's do 6 records or 6 videos, 6 for 6. But that's not something I've decided on, but that was just an idea that just popped to me. But just getting a lineup of material so that when I get ready to unload it, it can just go to where I don't have to put something out and then spend the next month or 2 trying to figure out what's next. Like I have the next 6 months figured out. And then while those next 6 months is figured out, I can be working on something else because I got all that shit lined up.
Right.
So I'm just getting the clip full and then I'm gonna start releasing the shit. I think the first video, 6 for 6, I think I'm gonna put the trailer out. I'm not sure when this interview will drop, but the trailer probably come out within the next 3-4 days. And then the video might follow, maybe another 3 or 4 after that. Cool. So the first one. So we about to start rolling that shit out. Cool.
So you got partners? You got partners that you work with to help you with these strategic plans, or just all out the muscle?
Just all. I try so hard to like build with people, but a lot of people don't see the vision. You know what I mean? I be talking to like my partners, and I'm like, bro, it's 10 homies. This is an example, not 10 of my homies, but like if it's a group of 10 people and this dude rap, all right, your best man right here, he needs to figure out how to be a manager. This dude right here, figure out how to work this merch machine. This dude right here, figure out how to talk to the girls, you know what I'm saying? Get them excited to whatever we finna do. Dude, figure out how to DJ. Figure out. Now those 10 people all working on one thing, they got everything they need.
Right.
But everybody don't want to play a part.
No.
Everybody wants to either be one or they don't want to fuck with it at all. So, me, I've been trying to, like, for years, bro, you'll see me make a post like, hey, who wants to do this or who wants to do that? Just searching for it, some people with like-minded visions to where we can make this thing. So, Chuck, my partner Chuck, I've been connected with him. He's a new engineer. You know Chuck, right? Denisha's brother. You know Chuck, bro. You know Chuck. He got the store on 4th Street.
Oh,
by the way,
yeah.
Step by Mix and Match.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so Chuck, a lot of people don't know, he's been working and putting in a lot of hours, perfecting his craft on engineering. So that's been my engineer, you know what I mean? And Mook, you know Mook, Billy Baker.
Yeah.
Mook, he's been great on the promo tip, you know. So these are 2 people I just recently decided to like. Actually, we got a meeting. It's today, Friday. In the morning, me, Billy, Chuck, and another person I don't want to name yet till we finish what we gonna do or get it set in stone what we gonna do. But just on how we could come together and build, because we all see like how I just laid out. You do this, you do this. So those are 2 people that I just recently connected with, and we're gonna talk tomorrow about how we can start to put some into play. But up to this point, it's just been me trying to figure this shit all out on my own. Like I've reached and looked for people, but I haven't been able to find nobody. So it's just been me.
Makes sense, dog. So it's just like I don't understand why it's like you said, if you ain't the master, you don't want to do it, bro. And it's like my vision just goes. To me, I just feel I'm a visionary, bro. I'm always trying to help somebody out. If I see something good in you, I can lay your shit out for you. Because it's just something that I'm just good at. I'm just naturally good at wanting to motivate and inspire somebody. Even if they don't see it in themselves. I'd have been in the club, bro, drunk the whole night. I would rather talk to you than go mingle and talk to anybody in this club if I see something in you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck you got that on, bro? And I'm not shitting on you, bro, but you're an artist, bro. You have weight in the city. Why the fuck you don't have your own merch on?
Right.
Why the fuck you ain't doing X, Y, and Z?
Your own shit. See,
you know what I'm saying? Why you not?
I come everywhere with my own shit. That's the vision, yeah.
That's the power behind. Like, if you don't wear your own shit, why the fuck would I wear it? That never would make sense to me, bro. I don't give a fuck if you tired of seeing it. You're gonna always see me in it because that's the bridge behind marketing.
You have a business mind.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. That's a good thing for you to get into. That's consulting. Like, bro, pay me this and I'll give you direction on how you should be moving. Because you do that, bro. And what you do with those kids is great, man. It's like, if we would have had that shit growing up, a lot of our peers maybe wouldn't have made the mistakes they had. So what you do, bro, very impactful. And I utmost respect for that, bro, because you ain't got to do that. Those kids, man, when they, like how I was talking about how my grandma's the voice, they gonna hear you when they decide to do their dumb shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's why I swear I never trip on it, you know what I mean? You know how you can tell somebody something and then they still do some dumb shit? But then when I see you, it's like, oh shit, I'm like, damn,
Because they respect you, bro. They don't want to disappoint you.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't want to disappoint you.
It's like, you know what I'm saying, you never gonna be perfect, you know what I'm saying? But I always just realize that, bro, everything takes time, and I just want you to grow. If I'm growing, I want you to grow with me. If you're not willing to be a part of the team, then I gotta fall back a little bit.
Don't mean you don't love me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't mean I don't love you, but I see something in you, bro, and the more you keep damaging yourself, the more it's like, bro, I can't do nothing with it.
Right.
If you don't see the potential in your own self, bro, and I just see so many people just wash themselves away because they don't want to leave the nest and they don't want to see something that will make them actually great one day.
I think a lot of people might be scared of failure too.
Yeah.
I know a partner, man, my nigga from Omaha, Viral Belly. He was telling me about one of his partners that was great at something. I don't want to say what that is because people may identify who I'm talking about. I'm not trying to put nobody's business out, but he was like, this dude is great at this, but he won't do it. He was like, and they asked him why, and he was like, he couldn't figure out why. And I said, bro, he probably afraid to fail.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, why? So a lot of people are afraid of that. It's like, I want to try this, but what if I'm not good? If I'm not good,
It's like even though it's a movie, but I think it really still ties into real life. You know, the part that paid him for, he was like, if I leave the game, man, you think they still gonna love me, man? You know what I'm saying? But I'd rather take that, we got clout, you know what I'm saying? We popular, but I'd rather take that chance on myself.
Yeah.
Shoot my shot knowing that I have potential in this.
Yeah.
I don't care, bro. I'd rather take that shot than not take it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because for me, you gotta be willing to transition.
Bro, I'm gonna feel worse at the end of the day, at the end of my life,
Mm-hmm.
knowing I didn't give it a shot. It's like, bro, what if? What would I don't want to have no what ifs. I'm like, man, I did it, it didn't work. Cool. At least I did it.
Right.
That's gonna feel 10 times better than, man, I should have done that.
Right.
What if I would've? I don't want to live with that type of, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go after everything. Everything I want, I'm gonna go after. You know, whatever happens, happens.
I don't want to. I don't know, bro. Just something about me. I just want to see everybody do good, man. And this platform, the reality survivors. I feel like everybody got a story, bro. Everybody done been through the same shit that I've been through. I just use my story to catapult others, to inspire them that they can be successful, whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you launching your story, this next person launching their story, it just helps the next person come out because anxiety is a motherfucker. Depression is a motherfucker. So once you're able to come out that shit, whatever those demons is that you can deal with, I guarantee you your life will be that much better once you be able to tell the world about it. You know what I'm saying? So
And it helps somebody else too.
yeah,
You know
and that's all it's about. You know what I mean? There ain't no judgmental thing going on here. It's whatever you've been through is what you've been through.
And something I want to say, bro, is like to the people, find something to be inspired by. You know what I'm saying? Like I have days where I don't want to do nothing. It's like, man, fuck that. I don't know, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, man. But you have to talk yourself down from those moments too. Like to me, I'll go turn on YouTube and find an interview by some of my favorite people. You know what I mean? And by the time the interview.
Let them know your social medias, where they can find you, where they can find all the music and videos, etc.
Rachel's Baby Boy on IG. My Facebook. I never, just Rachel's Baby Boy on the IG. That's where I have everything at, and then there's links there that can get you everywhere else. And then the website is 6for6apparel.com, which also has the links to my Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all that shit. 6for6 is the number 6, FOR, the number 6, apparel.com. Check it out, man. Support it, share it, whatever, man. I appreciate it all.
I appreciate you, dog.
I appreciate it too, man. Long time.
Real talk, man.
For real. Good.
Appreciate it, dog. Appreciate it. Michelle was like,